Okay, we're going to go live. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well on your first Wednesday back from break. My name is Matt Balka with the Digital Innovation Team for high schools. We are super happy to have you here on the channel, our first shows of the new year. Thankfully, we have 2020 in the rear view now, although 2021 is also off to quite a start. So let's take a look at our schedule before we get going today. This morning is all Savvis. It's going to be wonderful. We have our awesome Savvis team with us here today. Our first thing is introductions to your Savvis Partnership Plus content support here at 8:30 before we go into more of the Savvis Realize content. So I'm not going to take up any more of their time, and I'm going to give it over to the Savvis Realize team. Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, and Chris, I think you said you're sharing your screen, right?
Yep, I am. I've got it going.
All right, that sounds great.
Well, welcome, everyone. I'm not seeing your screen, Chris.
That's because you have to click over to him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep,
Okay.
along the bottom. There you go. If you don't, Chris, if you don't mind to hit that hide, there you go. We're good.
Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you here. My name is Annette Taylor, and I'm going to be your Success Maker and Success Maker Focus Educational Consultant this year. I've been with Savvis for 11 years, working with teachers primarily on interventions for literacy and mathematics. Before that, I taught for 20 years in grades 4 through 8, and I coached teachers in all grades all over South Carolina. And I'm very excited to be working with you today. Success Maker Focus and Success Maker are programs that are going to assist students with standards. Success Maker Focus assists them with priority standards and will quickly assess their unfinished learning from the previous year. We actually created Success Maker Focus because of COVID and the COVID slide. Success Maker K-8 is an adaptive learning program that works with them and helps to identify all of their gaps in their learning. Some of you have the full versions, and all of you have Success Maker Focus. Teachers will be able to see progress in real time with the amazing reporting options in the program. I'm available for assistance with navigating the program, accessing the resources that are available, and analyzing that very important data. Please feel free to contact me through email down there, annette.taylor@savvis.com, or schedule a meeting with me using the Cloud HQ link. And thank you for joining us today, and thank you for partnering with us.
Good morning. My name is Bernita Mosley, and I am one of 2 members of the Educational Consultants for Grades K through 5. We both would like to ask 2 questions. First question, would you like to have free access to 2 digital literacy curriculums that have full-length digital authentic text and level readers? These curriculums are called My View, Our Latest Offerings, and ReadyGen. Both of these literacy curriculums contain digital books with interactive features such as audio, word-by-word highlights, and annotations. Second question, would you like to have free access to literacy lesson plans and student interactive workbooks, both aligned with the anchor and supporting text, the Kentucky item focus skills found in the standards, and Jefferson County's curriculum framework for grades K through 5? If you have answered yes to one or both of these questions, there is more good news. You have access to the licenses for both of these programs in Clever. You can also sync the Savvis Realize platform to Digital Classroom. If you are desirous of learning more, please join us for our upcoming workshop at 9 o'clock this morning. You may contact me. My name again is Bernita Mosley. Contact me at bernita.mosley@savvis.com. I will respond to your email. On behalf of Robin Talbot Porter and myself, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Know this one thing, we are here for you. Have a great day.
Bonjour, everyone. My name is Robin Talbot Porter, and it's a pleasure to now be part of the JCPS team. What I like about this opportunity is I get to share all of the tools and resources that are available in both My View and ReadyGen. I get to show you how those tools and resources embed directly into your curriculum framework. In addition, Benita and myself will be housing office hours on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. Please join us from 3:30 to 4:30, where you can drop in, ask questions, and we can show you how to navigate the Savvis Realize platform, as well as ways to help you plan your lessons. Please join us for our upcoming sessions on January the 6th today, right after this session from 9 to 9:30. We'll be looking at My View and ways to navigate that platform, as well as customizing and creating and establishing playlists. Join us again on January the 13th, where we'll have an opportunity to work with our ReadyGen pieces as well. January 20th and the 27th are all about diving into those digital components and exploring. We also want you to know that if you have any questions, we are available by way of our email addresses. Please feel free to contact us. We're looking forward to having conversations.
Kelly, we'll let you go ahead since Linda's having difficulty.
Kelly, you're muted.
Now you're still muted, Kelly.
Am I off mute now?
There you go.
There we go. Finally. You'd think I would know that after a few times on this. I'm Kelly Palsrock, and I'm your science Savvis consultant for grades K through 12. Been a science educator for over 30 years now, and I still love working with kids, teachers, coaches, administrators, exploring the world of science. I truly believe that kids are born curious investigators, and as educators, we know we can develop this by offering opportunities for our students to become doers of science. I'm here to serve you any way I can, and I can be reached by email. Right there, you can see it, kelly.palsrock@savvis.com, or by appointment using the Cloud HQ link. In addition to your awesome JCPS frameworks, the Savvis offerings include Elevate Science for K through 8. We also have Miller and Levine Biology and the Experience Chemistry. Join me later this month on the Digital Learning Channel when we'll discuss such topics as navigating the Realize platform. We'll be doing that later today at 10 o'clock. Work smarter, not harder, by creating playlists and exploring some resources on the Savvis platform that you can integrate into your existing JCPS framework with resources such as virtual labs and interactivities. I'm really excited about meeting each and every one of you and working with you. So again, feel free to email me or make an appointment individually or with your professional learning communities. Happy to be here and excited to work with all of you. Thank you.
Good morning and Happy New Year. I think I'm jumping in here next. My name is Donna Koss, and I'm here to open a world of ideas with grades 6 to 12, My Perspectives. My Perspectives uses experiential learning with engagement, collaboration, and reflection to develop student understanding. It empowers teachers with tools and resources from which you can pull to deliver your curriculum frameworks in a meaningful, easy-to-use way. And that's what I'm here to show you how to do. All of this, as you heard, is delivered on our Savvis Realize platform, which can enhance your instructional materials by using our standards-aligned content or organize the items you already have from your frameworks for easy assigning. I am here when you need me. My contact information you can find on the Padlet, which we're putting in the chat, donna.koss@savvis.com. I also have a Cloud HQ link where you can schedule 30-minute sessions for yourself or a small group whenever you need a little extra time. My upcoming digital sessions start today with the Jump Start. That's at 11 o'clock, and I hope that you'll join me for some basic navigation and tips for creating lesson plans, which support your frameworks. And then I'm going to separate into grade bands of 6 to 8, 9 to 12 for the following sessions this month, where I'll show you how to create a playlist, a fabulous way to find and organize all of your resources, and make it your way to learn how to customize assessments and downloadable PDFs to meet your and your students' individual needs. So I am here to help make digital learning less frustrating and more rewarding for your students. Thank you.
Hello, when you see this face, I want you to think K-5 Math Help. I'm Linda Cortez, and I have spent the past 40 years making learning and teaching math fun and easy. And I love that you have Envision Math at your fingertips as a magical resource that's actually aligned with your curriculum and your instructional frameworks. Now, my major focus is to help you utilize it. Join me every Wednesday right here on the Learning Channel to get specific training on things like how to put Envision to work for you with, oh my gosh, there's so much. One of the first things we're going to do is create a playlist. We're going to explore problem-based learning, direct instruction, formative assessment, mathematical discussions, differentiation, and so much more. And also, I want to let you know that you can reach me anytime at my email. It's linda.cortez@savas.com. And just, drop me a line. Let me know if you'd like to meet. I'm not caught up with my colleagues yet with that HQ link, but I'm getting there. But in the meantime, feel free to just email me and let me know that you would like to meet, and we'll set up a time. I welcome you to my open office hours. This is going to be for drop-in Q&A every Tuesday and Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30. I look forward to meeting you, getting to know you, and helping you use your Math Envision resources. I'm here to help you, and I've got your back. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Chris Peterson, and I'm excited to be the Savas Math 612 Educational Consultant for JCPS. I've been with Savas going on 3 years and enjoy working with teachers to strengthen and diversify their instructional practices. The Envision Math program has many features that will allow you different avenues of instruction with your students during this virtual time of education. Some of the opportunities I can share with you are creating discourse with students, formative assessment opportunities to evaluate student progress, cooperative learning situations to allow students to collaborate and constructively solve problems, and many, many other opportunities for diversified learning opportunities. My upcoming sessions for the JCPS Digital Learning Channel are listed here, with the first one starting for secondary math at 10:30 this morning, but also feel free to reach me via email or use my Cloud HQ link to schedule an appointment as an individual, as a group of teachers, your entire curriculum team, or your entire school, and let me collaborate with you. I look forward to sharing which of the stories above was a lie and tell you about the other 2 life events that were amazing. But I really, really look forward to collaborating with you to help your students.
Hi, I'm Laura Mention. I'm the Customer Success Manager, and I'm here to help you with everything and anything. My job is to make your students successful and you as teachers successful using our platform. Please reach out to me anytime. I can answer your questions. And if I can't answer them, I'll find somebody that can. What we're going to do next is a quick video to demonstrate how to log into Savas Realize. We hope that all of you are already logged into the district's global portal to access our platforms. But this is a quick video just in case you have not done it so far. It'll help you, and you can always come back to it and see what you need to do. Also, if you are having difficulties, please go back to my email, reach out to me, and I will join a video hangout with you to get you started. Please start the video, Chris.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start that video for you all. You all might not hear it since you're on the call with me, but I'll let you know when it's done.
All right, so we start off on our Clever page, and if you need to find Clever, you can always go to JCPS quick links in your bar and find Clever there. Easy way to get into multiple things, as you can find. Now I've got it marked as favorites, but let me show you. You find Savas Easy Bridge, and I put it in my favorites, makes it easy to get to. Because Easy Bridge is what's going to take you out of Clever and get you to start setting up your Savas and Google Classroom link. So we're going to go in here, let it pull it over, and you'll see we came in. This is what the Easy Bridge looks like. It's kind of plain right now. And we see over here on the side 3 buttons. We really want to go to Realize. So we click on Realize, and it's going to take you to this, and it's going to give you your initial steps you see the first time. You can pick your grade level that you're going to be teaching or using. I selected all. You can change this at any time, which is important to know. This is not set in concrete. And then you pick your contents you want. Once again, I picked like almost everything because, why not? Good to have. Choose what you want. You can narrow it down or select everything like I did. It may be information overload, but you can change it anytime, once again. Here you put your name in, whatever you want to show to your class. I just want a simple Mr. Unger. You can choose what you'd like. Icon, once again, nothing major here. Pick an icon to represent you. Pick your background for your screen. Some different options here. And you can hit preview, see what it looks like. Check it out. Kind of a science teacher angle with this frog. I really like his look. Yeah, he looks good. We're going to keep him. And then you got 2 boxes down here. You have to agree to the license agreement. I would not get any more emails about Realize, so I'm going to keep that where it is. You can see as you were scrolling down, it bumps right through the steps that are up there, so you don't really have to worry about clicking on those. And we hit Let's Go. And that's going to take us in so we can start setting this up even further. But as you can see, it's fairly straightforward and simple to do. And it's taken a while because it's actually building all of those things and placing them into my room. That's why it's doing it. Probably if you select fewer things, it wouldn't take as long, but really a minute or 2 is not a lot. And it's going to take you in, and it's going to give you a little tutorial and show you what all the pieces in here are. All right. Look at our classes. I can go through there. Your data, and you can look up your information later on to see who's completing what. It'll show you students that are in progress, what they've done. There's always the help straight from Savas. Messages, if you get any, will be down there in the bottom corner. You'll have some when you first come in that are just your welcomes and little tutorial helps. See, there we go. It generated those as soon as I logged in through Clever and the Realize Bridge. And then we can go ahead and get started. And you can see our messages. I just like to look through them. We got our students' programs, and there's Easy Bridge, which is where we came in from. It's just that link. This is the Easy Bridge. There you go. All right. All right, so we can create assignments. There's our classes. Now let's see how we link this, because we need to get this from Google Classroom. So there's our import button. And if we have the classes assigned to us in Google Classroom, they will populate. We have to allow it, so we want to make sure that we allow it to do all of these great things. It's just going to access Google Classroom because they sync together. And there we go. You can see all of the interesting Google Classroom. So I've got JCPS STC Speaks. I've got my Mr. Unger's class, which is what I'm going to use. And I can pick my different programs in there. What is this one going to be for? because I picked so many different things to start off with. So maybe I will go with something in the elementary level. And, we got some language arts. I'm a language arts and science teacher. Love some technology mixed in there. So we'll go with 5th grade literacy. And as you can see, I can pick more things. So let's do literacy. Maybe we'll do a science, and we'll put a math in there. Let's see if I can find. Well, it's 5th grade. Let's do social studies. That's great, because that's a testable area in 5th grade. We'll throw some social studies in there just to see what it is, whether I'm going to use it or not. And there's math. So once again, you don't have to use all of these content areas. I just like clicking and adding all the things in there. But this makes it so easy to connect your Google Classrooms. And if you had a reading classroom and a math classroom, you could just throw those contents in there and then say, import. And it's going to, hopefully, magically connect them. Finish and view classes. And there it is. There's Mr. Unger's class. And the important thing is you'll see on the left of that icon, the Google Classroom icon.
All right, there we go. Oh, Chris, I think you're muted, man.
Chris, you're muted.
Thank you, Matt, for sharing that.
No problem.
Here's our upcoming schedule. As you see, we have some coming up today, and we'll be here every Wednesday in January. And then in February, we'll be here during Wednesday afternoons. So the SAVIS team is very excited about working with you. So just a partnership solution. That's how we feel about our time with JCPS. So any way that we can help you with our SAVIS programs, we're happy to do that. So please feel free to reach out and contact us. Matt, thank you for being a great host, and everybody have a great rest of the school year, please.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here so much. We appreciate it. And it's great to see all of you down here just with all the support that you give our team and our teachers and everything. So thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
All right, Digital Learning Channel, let's go ahead and look at what we have coming up. We have Bernita and Robin giving us some Realize ELA K-5 Power Up My View coming up here at 9 o'clock. Before we get there, though, there was actually a video from Dr. Carmen Coleman that I forgot to play. So, Bernita and Robin, before we get to you all, I'm going to have this video play really quickly. So here is Dr. Coleman with a message about SAVIS.
I'm excited to kick off a series of trainings this week focused on the SAVIS Realize digital curriculum and our resources here in JCPS. So as you know, any resource that we use has to be viewed with a very critical eye to make sure it aligns to standards, to make sure it is aligned with our work in racial equity, and to make sure that it's appropriate for our students and the kinds of learning experiences we want for them. We certainly weren't anticipating the purchase of a digital curriculum, but the context we're in requires that we continue to think differently, and we hope that this product will help to ensure a level of equity for our students in the virtual context, as well as a good tool for you as teachers that can be modified as much or as little as you'd like. So I'm appreciative that our two teams have come together, and I think the sessions this week that you can watch live or recorded will be especially helpful moving forward. Thank you for all you're doing for our students, and please don't hesitate to reach out when you have questions or ideas even that would make this time even better for all of us. Thank you.
Alrighty, so there is our video. We just want to say welcome again to everybody on the chat with us this morning. If you're here watching us live, please let us know in the chat where you're from, if you have any questions, if you've used SAVIS before. I will be monitoring that and relaying that to our presenters today. So, Bernita and Robin, it is all on you for the next 30 minutes. Take it away. And Robin, if you don't mind to just hit that hide button whenever you're presenting, that'd be great for us. Thank you. You okay, Robin? You're actually muted right now. Yep. Yeah. Sorry, I wish I had the option to unmute for you. It'd be a lot easier. All right, well, we're going to give Robin just a second to get set up here. Let's take a look at the rest of our schedule today. At 9:30, we have Math K through 5, Envision Math Magic. Then we go into Elevate Your Science Teaching with Kelly. At 10:30, we have Chris back with us for Math 6 through 12, and then Donna for ELA 6 through 12. Oh, there we go. Hi, Robin.
Hi, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Power Up session with MyView Literacy. My name is Robin Talbot Porter, and my co-presenter today is Miss Bernita Mosley. Bernita and myself would like to let you know that we are holding office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30. Here you can join us, ask questions, get tips, and we can support you all with the MyView Literacy and the Ready Gen components of our program. We look forward to hearing from you. If you need to contact us at any time, please use the email addresses below.
You're actually not presenting right now, Robin. We don't see anything.
Okay, let's try this again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm trying.
No,
there we go.
There we go.
There we go. Is
okay.
that it?
Yep. And then just hit present, and then hit that little hide button right there. Yep.
There
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Now we're good. Good morning, everyone. My name is Robin Talbot Porter, and it's a pleasure to have you here for today's session of Power Up with MyView Literacy. My co-presenter today is Miss Bernita Mosley. Bernita and myself would like to let you know that we are available to support you with MyView Literacy and Ready Gen, and we are holding office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. You can also contact us by way of our email addresses that are listed on this particular slide. So let's take a look at today's agenda. Today, we will explore the Padlet resources, navigate Savvas Realize, customize content, and create playlists. Our learning goals. Today, we will align the JCPS framework and MyView resources, navigate the Savvas Realize platform, customize by adding content and creating playlists. So before we can begin to navigate, it's important for us to share our thinking behind the books that we selected. In each module, K through 5, there is a broader topic. We're looking at an example from first grade, and this example comes from Module 3, Contributing to My Community, and the compelling questions are listed below. The books that we have chosen fit nicely into the broader topic, as well as they address one or more of the compelling questions. Let's look at an example from Module 3 for Grade 5. Keep in mind that the broader topic here is democratic principles, hearing all voices. The compelling questions are listed below. When we selected books for grade 5, we wanted to marriage one or more of those compelling questions. We've also established a Padlet for K2 and for K5 that houses the MyView resources. We're going to take a moment to look at the Padlet for K through 2. Here, in looking at the K through 2 Padlet, you see book pairings and formative assessments for both MyView and ReadyGen. And if you scroll over, you can see how these documents are laid out by grade level. Next, we're going to take a look at an example from the 3 to 5 Padlet that supports MyView. In doing so, you can see that each module is represented for both MyView and ReadyGen. There are navigation tools for MyView that are listed under the MyView Navigation and Distance Learning tab, things that will help you along the way, as well as a link to our office hours and the video that was viewed earlier in today's session. Just to share with you the format of the book pairing documents that can be found on the Padlet. Each book pairing document always begins with the title of the text, the author, the Lexile and/or guided reading level, the particular genre from which the book comes from, as well as the book's location. For this title, One Plastic Bag, we will find it located in grade 2, unit 4, week 4, lesson 2. Here, in looking at the formative assessment pieces that can be found in module 3, again, we're looking at a grade 1 example. It will always begin with the title of the book, the item focus skills, the standards, the location, and the formative assessment resources that were pulled to support student understanding. In looking at One Plastic Bag, the item focus is key ideas. The standard itself is RI 1.3, grade 2, unit 4, week 4, lesson 2. Preview and review of the vocabulary, the student interactive to develop that vocabulary, and the student interactive can be used to check understanding. Next, we're going to navigate to the Savvis Realize platform and go live. Once you have gone into your Clever and your Easy Bridge, you will land here in the sign-in portion of the platform. Once in, you'll see some tabs that generate across the top. The first tab is a browse. The next is classes. The next is data, my library, the search tube, the notification button, the question mark in the person. And we're just going to briefly take you through. Browse provides you with all the resources that you have on your dashboard. You can organize them by grade, by subject, by favorites. Classes will bring up your classes and your assignments. Here you can see what has been assigned. You can look at it by way of class, or you can look at it by way of student. Next is a calendar view, which will let you know which items are in play, and you can also create events. Your data tab is designed to share with you class results. If you are taking assessments online, you can scroll over and kind of see what items are being assessed. Here is a progress checkup. Here are the students who have completed it, and here are their scores. Next, we're going to take a look at the My Library tab, and this is going to be critical for creating a playlist and organizing the materials that you have uploaded or added a link or built a test from. Here is an example of a playlist that was started for grade 3. In this playlist, you can select all, or you can select particular stories that you would like your students to engage in. Next is the magnifying glass, and here you can search for titles of stories. Once you do so, it'll bring up the story. It can be assigned, it can be added to a playlist, or you can get more information on it. I'm just going to skip over the bell because this is just for any new notifications. The question mark takes you to program training, the My Savage training side. Here you put in the name of the program that you wish to look at, and it opens to a dashboard. Here in the dashboard, you'll see a digital playlist, as well as if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see View All Training. The View All Training tab has a wealth of resources that you can use and peruse at your own leisure. Next is the person. This person is your settings. Your personal information is there. And at the very bottom, you can link to your Google Classroom. Next, I'm going to drill into a grade level. And in doing so, you're going to notice that the tabs change. Going across the top, now we have resources, standards, level readers, the e-text, and twos. Resources are designed to give you all of the resources that are available in the program. You can filter these resources. You can filter by genre, by content area. You can also filter by content category or the media type. Standards will give us the standards that are embedded in the program. The leveled readers, you can search by Lexile, you can search by guided reading. If you move these two cursors, you can search for a particular level text within those two domains. Once you do so, you can see all of the selections that have come up for the domains of C through F. Next are your e-text, that is your student interactive, and your tools will give you such things as letter tiles and Scout. And your letter tiles are great for looking at spelling patterns or for having opportunities for students to look at vocabulary. Next, I'm going to take us to the table of contents. We're going to go down the table of contents for distance learning. We see getting started, student interactive. We see the units of study. We see a wealth of resources that are available under the table of contents. To this side of the table of contents, we see create content, where you're able to upload a link, a file, or build a test. And if we go down just a tad bit, you'll see a teacher resource tab that opens. And under that teacher's resource tab, you'll see the teacher's edition. Now I'm going to pass the mic over to Miss Bernita, and she will take us through adding and creating playlists.
Thank you very much, Robin. I really appreciate it. So let me prepare to share my screen. And what I would like to do now, you have logged in through your Clever, and I would like to just explore two books with you. So you're looking for digital books for your students at this time. So one book that I would like to highlight is We Live in Communities. This is a leveled e-text or level reader. So as you are viewing the documents that we have prepared for you with book pairings and formative assessment, just told to you by Robin, then if it's a level text, you just simply come to the magnifying glass and search for the book, and it will come up as a digital text that can be read to the students. Here it is, We Live in Communities. There is a teacher resource that I strongly suggest that you kind of peruse through their additional questions. There's a graphic organizer that will enhance the lessons that you're doing with the students. So let me just go ahead. That's the easiest way to get to many of the books that we have suggested for you through the level readers. But now I want to go to one plastic bag that was shared with you. So this one is going to be just a little bit different. I would like to scroll down to, it is a My View book. It is for second grade. It is found in Unit 4, so I'm scrolling down to Unit 4.
Bernita, I hate to interrupt. Robin, do you mind to mute for us? We're getting a little bit of feedback. I'm sorry.
I'll now go down to Week 4 and Lesson 2. And now that I've done that, so I just did the grade level was 2, the unit was 4, the week was 4, and the lesson was 2. Notice all of the resources at your fingertips for just a day worth of instruction if you were interested. But the book that I'm most interested in is found right here where it says One Plastic Bag. So I'm going to click on the book, and it is currently opening. There is a wonderful audio feature for synchronous and asynchronous learning. So you may or may not be able to hear it. Okay, so I'm going to stop that. So the students, if you assign this book to them, they're able to listen to the book with you. You can have a class discussion, or they can read this book, or better yet, listen to the book independently. On the right-hand side is a menu, and there's a little notebook here. The notebook will allow the students to respond to questions that you assign to them. When they're done, they'll just simply click on done and turn it into you through Google Classroom if you have your students working in Google Classroom. Something wonderful here, there's a glossary of words. We have suggested some words, but there's a glossary. You may want students to look at additional words. So let me just click on one of the words, which is crumble. Noticing here's the word crumble. I can play the word so they can see it. I'm going to pause it. Notice that that was the English version of the word. That word is also in Spanish and Haitian Creole. Just a little bit of Spanish. I'll pause it there. So take advantage of the wonderful glossaries that's available. So what I would like to do at this time is to go back. So this is the book that the students will be reading. Let me scroll down here. So that's the book, and I'm going to exit back. So now that I know I'm going to be reading that particular book, this book can be assigned. It can be added to a playlist. So what I want to do is assign this book to the students. I'll click on assign. Notice that when I assign the book, I need the title of the book automatically came up. I can click on the dates that I would like for the book to begin, which is today's date. How long do you want the students to be reading in this book? This book can be read over the course of a week. So I'll just close it out on Friday. I'll write into this instructions, so clarify what you want your students to do there, and then I'll assign it to a class. So let me just click on something. I have a MyView demonstration class already set, and you will have your classes already set if you sync your platform to Google Classroom, and you just simply assign it. So this book has been assigned. Now I would like to go back and add this book to my playlist because I'm going to be using it quite a bit. I've assigned it to Google Classroom, but I just want to have it in the playlist where I can house all of my instruction. You are currently, I believe, in Module 3. So I'm going to click on Add to Playlist. They're going to ask you a question first and foremost. Do you have a playlist? If not, create one. So I'm just going to click on Create. And so you can see I have created some. You would type yours in. Teachers have asked me, how should I label this? Well, you may label it by module. So you see I have some modules already here. You can label it by module and week of instruction. So if I click on this, I'll say create the playlist. And I have this one item added to my playlist. So I'm going to close this out. You want to know now, what do I have in my playlist? The only thing you need to do is to click on my library. It will show you items that you have added to your playlist. And noticing, if I open up Module 3, my view week of 1/11/21, maybe I assigned it for next week. It will show me that I have already placed one plastic bag there ready for instruction. If I had a listing of items, I could assign them all, or I can assign them individually. It's your discretion. May I suggest start small and grow so that students can get used to it. If this is their first time, in my view, maybe just assign a few items to begin with and then expand from there. Let me go back. I'm going to see the backwards arrow. I'm going to back out. And now I'm going to just go back to browse. Again, just to get to the book, that was grade 2. That was unit 4. That was week 4 and lesson 2. You will have a series of instructions for all the materials that we have suggested in the document shared by Robin in the book Pairings and Formative Assessments. The last thing I would like to show before closing today is to ask you to look at the teacher resources in the right here. There's a drop down. There are several things. We have also recommended some books in the My Focus and Decodable Reader. So if you look on this screen, you'll see Decodable Reader and My Focus. So this is just where you simply go and get it. But here is, we want our students reading, but we want our students to respond to reading. So My View has an excellent book ready with activities in it. It's called the Student Interactive, which can also be assigned and added to a playlist. But right now, I would just like to open it. It will open in a new window at the top. It is now open. There is a menu in the right corner here. So I'm going to open my menu. There's a table of contents. There's bookmarks. There's annotation and highlights. There's a notebook where the students can respond to questions you pose to them, and the glossary that you just saw earlier. I would like to open the table of contents. It is telling me that there's 2 volumes of this, and so I'm going to, it's closed now. If you see those arrows pointing to the right, they are closed. I need to open the arrow so that I can see what's housed inside of them. All right, so you see that there are some pages of study here, glossary, but I know that one plastic bag is in grade 2, unit 4. So I want to click on unit 4. I need it to open up. And now you see some activities, some things that they can do, some unit goals, vocabulary activities, weekly launches that's there as well. So here is where you go to find a host of activities that the students can be working on. So let me just open up one. I just want you to see what's here. So these are accessible to the students. And yes, they can complete work on the student side of this as well. So there's a lot of work that they can do. Let me go to week number 2. Again, you can see the activities that's available and the pages of study that they have as well. So what I want to do is just leave the platform just a moment and go to the Google Classroom side of this. So if I had assigned the student interactive and this one activity, develop vocabulary, this is on this Google side. It will open, it's asked, do I want it to, I can count backwards or take me there now. So I want it to take me there now. This is my demo account of my Google. So it's asking me, how do you want to log in? So this is the book that I assigned from the My View side, which is now shown in the students in Google Classroom. They just need to remember when they open the book and finish, the main thing that they need to do for you, the teacher, is to turn it in once they've done. But we haven't done anything, so let me go ahead and open the book. The book is opening. This is the activities in the student interactive. Directions. They are to, in your own words, write what each word means. So I'm going to open the activity. Here is where the students will respond to what these words mean. So I can actually type, what does the word useless mean? It can mean void, unusable, Then they will continue to write to you. So this is how they respond to the student interactive. For the main text for the supporting, there is some work for them to do in the student interactive. I'm most grateful for the opportunity and time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back now. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm very thankful for the time you've allowed me today just to touch on the surface. Robin and I would love the opportunity to go more in depth with these books with you. Please join us for our next session. And as we close out, I always appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure working with you and sharing with you today.
Awesome. Well, Bernita, Robin, thank you so much for being on here with us today. Go ahead, Robin. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no. I wanted to say I'm looking forward to you all reaching out for additional support. Please reference the email addresses as well as the Padlet. There's a wealth of resources there to support you in the teaching and learning process.
It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you both so much. We appreciate you being on this morning. JCPS, we are going to go through a couple housekeeping things before we move on. So let's take a look at our schedule. We are moving up to the 9:30 slot here with Linda, talking about Realize Math K through 5 and Vision Math Magic. If you want to continue to follow along with the conversation after today, go ahead and get on Twitter and follow at JCPS Dig In. That stands for Digital Innovation. I'm not muted, right? Okay. If you want to tweet as well and make sure that we see it, you can use the hashtag JCPS Dig In. So you see one of our digital innovation leaders, Kathleen Receiver, just said Apple EDU provides free virtual professional learning for educators with a link here. So use that hashtag, look up that hashtag, stay in touch with that, and we will make sure to give you a like, give you a follow, give you a retweet, and continue to spread that brilliance around our district. If you are joining us in the chat today, please make sure that you drop in there. Let us know who you are, where you teach, what you teach, and if you have any questions about using Savvis going forward into our 2021 part of the school year here. But it is 9:29, and what I'm going to do now is stop talking and turn it over to Linda so she can talk to us about K through 5 math. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
How are you?
So, how would you love to have some magical resources that are aligned to your curriculum and your instructional frameworks? In this segment, you're going to discover how to use, or not actually how to use, where are all the resources that you need to help you implement the math workshop approach. So I want to welcome you. Are my slides showing?
Not yet, they're not, no.
Okay, well, I think there's really just one I want to point out, but it's okay, we can go from here, okay? So I want to welcome you to Envision Math Magic. I'm Linda Cortez. I'm your partner for K-5 Envision Math, and I'm here to help you, and there are lots of ways that you can contact me. One, of course, is my email, linda.cortez@savvis.com, and maybe someone can put that in the chat in case the slide isn't up there.
Yep, I got it for you.
And you can also join me here on the Learning Channel. So I'll be presenting on here a lot with information. And then I'm going to kind of feed some of these sessions with information that I get from people who hop in on my office hours. And my office hours are going to be every Tuesday and Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30 for open Q&A. Now, I want to show you where to find resources that are going to support your math workshop approach. And specifically, we're going to include number sense routines, your inquiry, task, and share activities. Where can you find support for whole group mini lessons, for learning station activities, and where are there opportunities for students to reflect? So at this point, I want to share my screen and go live. Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, so here we go. All right. So when you log in,
we still don't see it, Linda. Sorry.
Okay.
Did you click on the three dots on the top right?
I did.
Go to share screen, and then if you have to click on where it says your entire screen, and then hit share from there.
Okay, let me go back here. Perhaps there it is. Okay.
There we go.
Got it. Okay. Much like Zoom. All right, are you able to see it yet?
Yep, there we go. We see it now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, but I can't, so let me go over here. Okay.
And then do you
So-
mind to just hit where it says hide at the bottom right there? Do you see that where it says hide? Yep, that's great. Thank you. Okay, you're good.
Okay, so now we're still good, right?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, all right. So when you log into your Envision Math, you're going to come to this homepage. And in case you ever get lost, you can, like, let's say you're over here in classes and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I get here? You can always click on Realize over here and it'll take you right back where you need to be. Now, we're going to concentrate today in the Browse area because that's where you're going to find all the resources that help you with the math workshop approach. But I'm just going to touch real closely in case you might have missed it in one of the other videos, that this is where you find information on your classes. So where you organize your students into groups, where you find their assignments and all that. And data, of course, that's where your data is going to be stored. When you assign things to students online, it collects the data and you'll be able to do some really cool things like item analysis for more grouping or more instruction. The My Library is where you're going to house your playlists, and we're going to have another session where I show you how to create a playlist that'll serve you. And let me jump over here to this right here. I'm not able to make that bigger on here, am I? Okay, but anyway, so this is your search tool, and when you click on it, you can search for specific things. If you have more than one content, if you have more than one grade level, you're going to be able to access any of the resources in there and resources outside of there. Here's where you get your notifications. Click that back up. This is a magical drop down where you get help for the page, program training. So this would be where you go into the My Savas training and you can get on-demand tutorials and other helpful documents that will help you do specific things in the program. Technical support contact and contact for a program specialist. And then this last little drop down over here is all about you, where your settings are, announcements to you, and where you sign out. Okay, but like I said, we're going to go to this Browse tab, and notice you can click either at the top or on that little circle. And we're going to start off, I'm just going to go to second grade to start off with, all right? And as you scroll down, I want to mention that there are like 3 layers within your browse. The first layer is going to be like a broad, big picture layer. And so as you scroll down, you see you've got beginning of the year stuff, your teacher's edition, and then you get into some PD stuff for yourself. And then you have all your topics. Every once in a while, you'll see a red check mark. That's going to be a benchmark assessment. And then all the way to the bottom, and you'll see, since this is grade 2, every grade level is going to have this step up to grade, and it'll be the next grade. And then you have these cool math diagnosis and intervention system. And what I like about this is that if you have students who have gaps or are missing, or maybe the parents want something extra for students to do, you can dig into this and you're going to find a lot of practice work for the kids to do, okay? But I also want to call your attention to, remember we're on the first level. There's 3 layers or levels, however you want to think about that. And new computer, weird scrolly bar. Okay, so over here, you notice you have teacher resources. When you drop down, you're going to have a whole lot of resources, and it depends on what grade level you are, what will be in here. But so if you're in grade K through 2, I think it's down below the math posters. Here it is right here. Here is where you find those number operation routines. and you open this up and you have a PDF, and just look. I mean, you can tell by how small this scroll bar is. I think you can see it, maybe not on the video. I can. It's teeny tiny. That means you're going to have a whole lot of these routines to help you. And what I like about these is they will tell you what materials you need. You'll have teaching notes, and you'll have suggested use. So this particular one says to use with lesson 1-5 and beyond. So really kind of like at the very beginning of the program, you could probably be using it now. And there's one in here I just want to show you. Okay, so you're teaching remotely and you're doing these number routines. Look at this one. This is really cool. It's just find something in your home, and they can all bring their little box of cereal to show you what the number is on there that they're using in this activity. And you could even you could put them in small groups, breakout groups, and then you pop around and help them do this activity. Or you can do it whole group and have the kids share, pick different kids, get different combinations. So awesome on these. This is where you find your number routines. Let me go back. Okay, so remember where to find those is when you first log in and you click on your content, and you get to the table of contents, first layer. It's underneath the teacher resources, about halfway down. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to, let's look at a different grade level. I'm going to pick 4th grade. And this is where we're going to go into like an actual lesson, because where you're going to find all the rest of your resources is going to be in every single lesson. So like every single lesson is going to have resources for your shared activities, your inquiry, your small group, stations, learning stations, and your whole group mini lessons. So you're going to have all that stuff available to you. So I am in 4th grade now, and this is, let's go down. Okay, so I told you that there were 3 layers. So this looks very much like the 2nd grade first layer. And the way you get to the 2nd layer is you click on a topic. I'm not going to go to topic 1. You guys are probably somewhere, if you're in 4th grade, you're probably working with fractions by now. And I think that's going to be, let's go to topic 9. Okay, so topic 9 is about understanding addition and subtraction of fractions. So we're going to develop some conceptual understanding as well as fluency and application in this topic with fractions. And so you see when you go to the topic level, you have this beginning stuff, you have all your lessons, and then at the end you have some end of topic stuff, including an assessment. But let's go into lesson 9.3, adding fractions with like denominators. All right, so one thing you need to understand about the lessons in here is that they have 3 parts. And there's a lot of other stuff, like you have your teacher edition at the top, you have some PD, look and listen for video for yourself, you have math anytime. And then when you get to this step 1, that's where the lesson begins. Then you have a step 2. The step 1 is the problem-based learning, much like the inquiry and share. We call it solve and share. There's visual learning, and then that includes practice and problem solving. So either some guided practice and or independent practice. And then the magical step 3, this is the assess and differentiate, where you're going to have all these resources to choose from to, I'm having trouble scrolling here. Okay, but you have all of these resources. Okay, all right, so now let me see here. Let's talk about the problem-based learning. So I'm going to click on this, and I hope you can hear it. If you can't, it's no big deal. You'll see the visual of it, okay? So the solve and share in this lesson looks like this. And you'll have a little blue speaker up here that you can click on. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this or not.
Jonas is making nachos and tacos for a family party. He uses 2/5 bag of shredded cheese for the nachos and 1/5 bag for the tacos. How much of the bag of shredded cheese does Jonas use? Solve this problem any way you choose.
Okay, so there's the problem that's posed. And then the kids are going to work in little groups or with a partner. You could also have them do it on their own ahead of time and come to your synchronous session, and they've already done it and they're going to share their work. All right. But let's just look at what they have available. This is your view, but the students, it's going to look much like this, and they're going to have these tools over here to use. So like they can draw on it, they can change the thickness. All right, if they don't like it, they can erase. Okay, if they don't want to take all that time, they can just click on the trash can and delete it all. All right, there's also these kinds of things that they could use counters, they could use the base 10 blocks. Now this probably isn't going to help on this one, so let's look and see what else is available. Shapes. Probably not. Number line? Yes, look, we could use that 1/5 number line. And you put it up there, and then you can move it where they can move it wherever they want to. Now you could also use this for demonstration purposes, okay? And then let's see what else we could have used. Probably not that, no. But let's look at this. Fraction bars, yes. And there's the 1/5. So again, we can move that around. And you can use a text box if you want to label things. So you type it in there and then move it where you want. If you make a mistake, just hit the trash can on the text box and then everything else does not go away. They could even shade in parts using the color thing. And they probably want to, like move that up so it fills in faster. Or they could just make it thin and outline the shape. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Now, here's the deal. When you do these solve and shares, you're going to introduce it to the kids and just make sure they understand the problem and they know what they're supposed to do. Then you let them go to explore with it and to kind of to discuss and collaborate with each other to help build each other's prior knowledge. And while they're doing that, you're going to circulate through their breakout groups and make sure they're on task. And then also you can ask them questions when they get stuck. And the beauty of this is, I'm not going to open up the whole thing, but if I hit this drop down, up at the top is your teacher edition. And if I were to open that up, it would open up to the exact page where this is being taught. And so it's going to give you these great questions. Look for the blueprint. That's the magic there, because it's going to give you some awesome questions to ask the kids to get them unstuck. And then after everybody's worked on it, you come back and you do your share out. And if you've been really strategic while you're in there, looking at the groups, you'll know which students to call on to share and how to scaffold it. All right, so that is where you find your inquiry, task, and share. Let me see if I want to show you anything else in this lesson. Yeah, okay. So moving right along, where do you find there was problem 1. The visual learning is going to be like where you find your mini lessons, and it contains the visual learning, Convince Me, which is going to be like where students get to reflect. But let's look at the visual learning real quickly. So it's a video.
How can you add fractions with like denominators? Let's take a look at a couple of different ways. The table shows the results of a 4th grade Pets Club survey. What fraction of the club members chose a hamster?
Okay, I'm going to stop it there, and you'll notice that there are some breaks in the line down below where you're playing. And so those breaks are going to be automatic stops in the video where they're going to ask the kids to think, to share, to maybe answer a question. And it's also a great point for you to add to the discussion. Of course, you can stop at any time you like because you have control over here to insert your own instruction, check for understanding, any of that. Okay, so after they have done this, gone through this, there's a place for them to reflect. So here's the problem. Frank solved the problem to 12s plus 4 12s equals 6 24s. Oh my goodness. There's that common misconception that almost all students have in the beginning. What error did Frank make? Explain. You're also getting to use those math practices of critiquing the reasoning of others here. You're going to see that a lot throughout there, as well as all the other math practices. Okay, so there's your reflection piece. Now, there's also going to be different ways for kids to practice, either guided or independently, within this part of the lesson. So you see you have a student addition practice. If I open that up, you'll see that that's a PDF type thing. And see, that was this little lesson right there. So you could also, like, if your video is slow that day, open this up and teach from this. That's a great tip. I hope you take that one with you. There's the Convince Me. So that was also a video format, but here it is right here. And then you have below that, come on, space, there we go. There's another example. You have some guided practice, and notice we're gonna cue in on the conceptual understanding and the procedural fluency, and then your application is gonna come, well, there's more fluency and skill, and here is some problem solving. So there's a modeling with math, and then there's higher order thinking. And if you go down here, you even have assessment practice. Okay, so like if your technology is out that day or something is amiss, you can go here and actually teach your lesson from this thing right here. All right, and then let me go back here. There's other practice available. Anytime you see this practice buddy, that's going to be online practice. So you have independent, and then you have additional. So these are both going to be online. And what's cool about this is you can see that they're going to be answering online. So they'll check in the box. These things pop up if they need a different format to enter their answer in. And then down at the bottom, you can see that on this one, there are 12 questions. Let's say that's too many, or maybe you think you need more questions. What's great about the Practice Buddy is that you can customize it. You can make it shorter, longer. You can add different questions if you like. And what else? Oh, I forgot to tell you this. The kids will have question help up here. So if they're working on this asynchronously, then they have all these things down here to help them. They can get help solving it. It'll take them step by step. They can look at an example that's just like this problem. They can look at the animation. That's the lesson that you showed them earlier. There's a glossary. They have access to math tools, and they could print it for some reason. They probably don't want to. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention to you about the Practice Buddy, the online practice, is that it's going to collect data for you in your data tab. Remember we talked about this data tab? So in there, you can quickly get an item analysis and find out where are students struggling the most and which specific students. This will help you pull in groups, and it will help you make differentiated assignments and even personalized assignments. So totally cool. All right, and now we go to, so you have all these other things, and I know I'm going fast and I'm giving you a lot, but I want you to go back in and look at these later. So now under Assess and Differentiate, this is where you have the things that you could use in stations, you can use for differentiated practice and differentiated instruction, small group work, independent work. So you always have this, here's a piece for reflection again, and this is the student is assessing themselves, and you have this in every single lesson where they're going to say, I need help, I'm working on it, I got it. And then there's also the language goal as well. So that's going to be in every lesson. I'm going to show you the things that are in every single lesson first, and then I'll show you some resources that vary from lesson to lesson. So you're also going to have this formative assessment, which is a quick check, and it's going to look just like the Practice Buddy I showed you, except it's not going to have the help tools available because you're wanting to check and see do they understand it on their own. So there's also going to be in every lesson a reteach to build understanding. Voila. So it starts off, has some vocabulary, has some very simple problems, not a lot, just enough for you to use with a small group setting, or maybe to start to kick off a lesson as review. A lot of people use these for review too. So very versatile, very versatile. What else is always in a lesson? So you also have, let me just kind of keep track of this over here. The quick check, the self-assessment, the reteach. Oh, there's always going to be enrichment. There it is right there in front of me. All right, and so this is going to be usually word problems or using the skill in a different type of application way that's a little more advanced than just the procedural practice. Okay. And some people like to use these to teach from as well versus giving them as just an assignment for students to do or to do in groups. What else do we have? We always have a take another look video. These are good for parents to watch too. I'm just going to pop it open for a second and show you it looks different than the others.
Did you know we can add fractions just like we add whole numbers? Yeah, and it's really easy if the fractions have like denominators. Like denominators, you ask? Well,
so as you can see, it's just going to play straight through. It's a very much tutorial how-to video. I recommend parents look at these to kind of refresh their memory about the math if they're helping their kids at home. And then another thing that's in every one is, I think that's it. We did them. Okay, so now what's going to vary are some other things. So let's see what we have in this lesson. Okay, so in this one we have games. All right, and games are always going to give the kids a learn button and a play button. All right, and you know, the kids have access to all the games, so do you. I'm going to show you where that is in a minute, but right now I'm going to see what else we have in this lesson to show you. There's a math literacy. So this is going to help build their vocabulary and their being able to talk about math. So here's the one that goes with this lesson. Read the problem, answer the questions, which shapes make up half of the set, and they give them this information over here. So they're going to have to do some thinking, but they interpret, they use the data, and then they should be able to answer the question. So it's kind of helping them through thinking through this kind of problem where it's not apparent at first what they should do. All right, let's see what else we have. Oh, I know what this one has. I think it has a pick a project in it. Yes. So the pick a project I really like because it allows kids to get creative with math. So sometimes kids that aren't, if math isn't their strong thing or they don't like math, these are fun for them. So, and usually there's like 3 or 4 different choices. So this one, they're going to explore recipes and they're at home, so that would be fun. Code talkers, they're going to create a code using fractions. And then this one, let's see, they're going to actually write and perform a skit. So a lot of variety there for different learning styles. Love it. Okay, so now there's other things. So I'm going to jump to another lesson and show you what you might find in another lesson for this part. Let's just go to the next lesson. Lesson 4 has what I think I want to see. A math tools activity. There it is right here. So when you open this up, notice it says topic 9. And if I scroll down, you'll see there's actually a lot of lessons in topic 9 that use the math tools. Lesson 9.2 we didn't look at, but it uses a geometry tool. And then this is the one I meant, it uses a fraction tool. And if you come up here to the tools, there's the tool you need and you can pop it open. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but that is showing in a separate window. So I can toggle between my directions and my tool. Now you'll want to play around with these tools and you have access to these tools all the time, anytime, right? Why does that look like that? Okay, right there. And so there's the game center I talked about earlier. That's where you can access it. Here's your glossary. Here are those math tools. And if I open this up, you're going to see all the tools. But I want you to do that. I want you to go and check that out. Okay. And the kids, by the way, have access to all of these, not all of these things, but they have the game center, the glossary, and the tools on their program as well. So they can get to any tool, any game, whenever they want to. So can parents by logging in to their child's account. All right, so what else did I want to show you? The math tools. Okay, we're going to jump to another lesson and see if we can find some more things. Let's look at 9-6. I think 9-6 is going to have, down here again, see, we're under step 3. Here it is, problem-solving reading activity. And when you look at this, you're like, okay, it's word problems, but what's it have to do with reading? Well, if you were in the classroom, I'm clicking on tools up here, you would see this. And this is bringing up a picture of actually a tool that you have probably in your classroom. These come with the program. These are the reading mats. But since the kids are at home and you don't have a bunch of these to send out, they can look at it here virtually and they can zoom in on that and read it. And you can see, it has some pretty interesting topics. And then the math is related to these. So it's about Olympic Day and questions about that related to the math in this specific lesson. Let's look at one more because I didn't get to the, someone hop in if I'm getting close to the time I need to be done. Because I do want to finish on time here.
Yep. You've got 2 minutes left.
Okay, I'm going to show you this real quick. Okay. Where is it? Down here. Oh, my scrolly bar. I'm getting excited here. I can't get to it. There we go. Okay. There we go. The STEM activity. You have STEM activities that will connect math and science. And then there's one more really cool thing that is in every single lesson, and it's going to be under, try and get rid of that highlight there, the Math Anytime, and it's called the Today's Challenge. And what I love about this Today's Challenge is that you can use it across many days throughout what you're teaching, and there's this DIY part of it. So it starts off with this, and this is about, your diet and the fraction of what you eat. Day 1, they give you the chart, draw a picture. Now look at what happens as I move through the days. The chart stays the same, but the problems and the problem-solving skills change. Draw a picture, draw a diagram, communicate ideas, extend your thinking, and DIY, they write their own problems. So you can have kids work individually as groups and create their own. And then you have all these great, if they submit their work, notice they have the tools over here again, then they can submit their work and you have all these great problems to work with. Okay, so I am through sharing my screen and I don't know how to get that off of there. Stop. Probably, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
So I just want to, we went really fast. I showed you a lot of resources and I know you have a lot of questions. So I want to make sure you reach out to me. My email is linda.cortez@savas.com. And my office hours are Tuesday, Thursday, 3:30 to 4. I'm here to help you and I got your back. Thanks.
Well, Linda, thank you so much for being here with us today. Great information.
Oh,
I put
boy.
your email in the chat for everybody to have. So hopefully you'll get some stuff soon. So thank you so much for being here and for all the support.
I love it. Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right, everybody. It is 10:01. Before we move on to our next session, let's take a quick look at our schedule today. Coming up for the 10 o'clock half hour, we have Realize, Elevate Your Science Teaching with Kelly Palsrock. If you want to stay involved with the conversation, remember all of these sessions are recorded. You can find them on jcpsdigitallearning.com in our Savas playlist. You can also stay up to date with everything going on around the district that people tweet to our hashtag JCPSDigIn. So you can see just a few minutes ago, another one of our digital innovation leaders, Stephen Durham for Zone 3, tweeted about Natalie Schmidt and the awesome videos that she makes for her students on Twitter all the time. So when you get a chance, hop on Twitter, follow us at JCPSDigIn, use the hashtag JCPSDigIn so we can like, retweet, and continue to spread your brilliance to everyone else around the district and around the state that pays attention. It is 10:02. Kelly, I am so sorry for eating into your time. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, good. I'm off mute this time. So far, so good.
Yes.
It's going better than the 8:30 session.
So the next half hour is all you.
All right. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yep, there we go.
Good so far?
Yep, great.
All right. We're going to spend a little time talking about science this morning. And as I have introduced myself before, I'm Kelly Palsrock.
Kelly, do you mind
And,
do you mind to just hit that hide button right there?
Yes,
And then
thank you.
while we're in slides, do you actually mind to use the closed captioning function as well? Do you know how to turn that on?
I will do that.
Awesome.
How's that?
That is fantastic. You just need to hit allow up there.
And there we go.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Boy, by the end of February, we're going to be really good at this.
Oh, we'll be rocking.
We will. Love it. I am the K through 12 science consultant, and I work with Elevate Science, and we're going to primarily look at Elevate Science today, but I also work with Miller and Levine Biology, as well as Experience Chemistry. So if anybody has any questions about those two programs, please feel free to reach out to me. I have been a science educator for over 30 years, and I absolutely love it. My email is kelly.palsrock@savvis.com. I do have a Cloud HQ site, and so if you want to schedule a meeting with me, I would love to meet with you. Like we said before, you can meet individually, in teams, groups of teachers, and I like the way Chris Peterson said, I'll meet with the whole school. So we're here for you anytime. Please feel free to reach out and ask us any questions that you have. I do have a session agenda for today. We're going to walk you through the Realize platform for Elevate Science. I have a PowerPoint, but I'd also like to go live with you. So let's see how the platform is working for us today, but we do have a backup PowerPoint just in case. So let's take a look here. This is our Elevate Science platform, as you've seen. The nice thing is when you have a product on the Realize platform, it works for all of the programs. So if you are an elementary teacher and you're using MyView or you're using Envision Math, you're using Elevate Science, they all sit on the Realize platform. And I like to tell teachers it's like your personal assistant. And who among us wouldn't love to have a personal assistant? So I wanted to just show you a few things about the settings. I think some of us have gone over this already, but if you look across the top here, you're going to see the browse tab here. You have your classes, your data, my library. We're going to spend some time, all of us next week, I believe, talking about playlists and how that can make your life much easier. The platform is repetitive, so you have browse here. You also have it here on the big green button. Classes are here as well as here. You have your data tab here. And we will be looking at those data tabs a little closer if that is a need for some of the teachers. And then we'll get into these in just a moment, the search, your announcements, questions and training, and then this is your personal setting. So if you pull down this, you're going to see your settings, and I'm going to try and go live now and see if I can just show you on the platform. So here is the platform when you bring it up. All right. And if I pull this down, you can see that this is my background. These are my settings. If I go in here, this is where I'm going to see any announcements about the Realize platform. You always want to make sure you sign out using this, and you'll see that I have a little icon here. If I go into my settings, this is my account. All right, so you'll notice it's my name. I do have a preferred language, an email address there. If I go down further, I have some account information, and this is where you're going to link it to your Google Classroom. Most of you have probably done these things already. I know that JCPS has done a great job at setting you up with this. This is also where you're going to pick the programs that you want to sit on your platform. I did want to tell the 6 through 8 Elevate teachers that you now have the option of adding modules, the Elevate modules to your platform. So look for those. It's Elevate Science modules, and you can add those. And then anytime you add, you want to make sure that you hit the save button. So if you're an Elevate grade 2 science teacher, maybe you want to add Elevate Science grade 1 and 3. So you can add as many as you want to this. And then the About Me. So one thing I wanted to show you here is, let's say that, I had this little flower right here. Let's say I'm getting towards St. Patrick's Day. I can choose this one. And then maybe I don't want the frog anymore. Maybe we're going to start, in my class, we're going to start talking about flowers or pollination. I can pick that, and then I can come back up here. I can save this, and now I've changed my settings. When I come back here to this tab, it's going to take me to my home page, and notice that now I have changed what my home page looks like. So that's kind of fun. And these are, if I do my drop down menu here, you'll see that I've changed this, and this is what my home page looks like. The kids can do this too, so it kind of mixes it up for them. All right, now that we've looked at my settings, another nice feature is the search button here. This is searching with Mosaic by ACT. And if I want to search some content, I'm just going to type in, let's say, tornadoes. Hit the search button there. This is going to allow me to search not only the content with the Realize platform, but it's also going to go out and search in Mosaic by ACT. So this brings up everything about tornadoes that we have sitting on the Realize platform. And you'll notice over here, it sorts it by grade. And I can bring up videos. I have an anchoring phenomena. I have some enrichment. Notice how many results I have here, 430 results, just sitting on the Realize platform. But I want to go out there and look for something else. Maybe I want to see a song or something else. And I don't know how many of you have done this before by searching YouTube. I've kind of gone down a little rabbit hole, but I know by working with the JCPS frameworks that you've developed some wonderful materials for JCPS. And maybe I want to look at this F5 Oklahoma tornado, May 3rd, 1999. So I can now add that, and I can assign it, and I can look up some information on that. So this is something that is included in your Realize platform. Wanted to make you aware of that. And now I have 182 results. And I also can sort by media type, so videos, games, assessments, and worksheets, etc. So that is there for you as well. Let's see. The next thing, let's go into our browse. This is, remember here, I've got this tab. If I go back to my Realize homepage, I have browse here as well. So I can browse all of my courses that I've added here, or I can browse here. A few things that comes up when we're browsing. I can sort by grade. So this is going to put my courses in grade level. I can sort by subject, or if I click this little star here, that's going to make these courses my favorites. So if I click on favorites now, you've seen for today's purposes, I've chosen Elevate Science Course 2, which is a 6 through 8. It's a middle school course. I've chosen Science Grade 4 and Elevate Science Grade 5. So I can browse I can sort based on my favorites. So I'm going to go into now Elevate Science Grade 4, and I just want to take a look at how this is organized. So we're going to look at the table of contents, and I can see here that at the table of contents level, I have all of my topics of study. All right. And then when I click further into one of these, let's say that we're going to go into waves and information. Okay. Now I'm at the topic level, in the lesson level, and I have my topic launch. So this is my folder. I can open my folder here at the topic launch, and I can see what's available to me at the topic launch. I'm going to turn my distance learning off for just a moment. We're going to get to that in just a second. So if I open my topic launch, these are all the things that are available to me at the topic launch level. So I have my e-text, I have my quest kickoff. The quest is a storyline that runs through my entire topic. I have some UConnect labs, etc. So that's at the topic launch level. Now notice when I go back, I'm not going way up here on the internet. I'm coming here to my header, and I'm using this arrow to take me back out. Then I have my different lesson levels. So I can go into properties of waves, and now I can see the activities. So that's how this is organized. And over here, I have my teacher resources, and I can open that. And these are my teacher resources at the activity level. So I like to have this organized in my list view. And now you can see here, when I'm at the activity level, I have a way that I can assign these to my students. So I can assign either here, I can assign by checking the boxes, and then I come up here and I hit assign all. I can also add to playlist. And we're going to do some more discussion with playlist next week. So let's go back out. Now, another thing I did want to mention to you is that Jefferson County Public Schools uses the 5E model. Notice that Elevate Science is using Connect, which would be the engage. Investigate would be explore, with the exception of the e-text. We want our kids to be doers of science. So it's important that the e-text comes a little bit later. So as we move through, and we can see all of these fantastic activities, you investigate labs, interactivities, and now we get into the synthesize portion. The synthesize is going to be the explain and the elaborate. So you see more interactivities, you see our quest, we can see you engineer it. This would be the explain and the elaborate portion. And this is where we want to include the reading of the e-text. We would put that down here in the synthesized portion. And the JCPS frameworks are being integrated with SAVIS resources, and those are available to you. The demonstrate then would be the evaluate. So you can see here we have an e-text and we have quizzes here in the demonstrate area. In some of the topics, you'll see you demonstrate labs as well down here in this demonstrate portion. All right, so let's go back to the top then. Now, you can rearrange the order, and I'm going to show you that when we come back here. at the table of contents level. A few things with the table of contents level. You have two different views. We can put this in the thumbnail view. I like the thumbnail view if you're working on an iPad. I tend to use the list view. But let's say that you have several topics here and you are working on structures and functions and you don't want to scroll down every time. So you can use this rearrange feature. And that's going to allow you to, say, move your Earth natural hazards to the top so that you don't have to scroll down every time to find it. Then you can come up here and you can hit save. Nothing is permanent with this. You can always undo the rearrange feature. All right, now you can access your e-text. So let's take a look at that. The teacher e-text is available to you as well as the student e-text is available to you. If we go to the teacher e-text, it is going to open in a new window, which is nice because it allows you to still have the platform available to you as well as your e-text, or you can open the student e-text and teach from there. Nice thing about this is you have a menu here. You can search. You can go directly to the table of contents. You can bookmark, annotate. You can take notes in a notebook, and you have a glossary. All of these features are also available to the students in their e-text as well. We go to the table of contents, and let's say I want to go to topic 2, human uses of energy. You can see that here is my teacher edition, and I have a nice wraparound with all of my next gen science standards listed. I can move through this. I can see that I have a video that's available to me, some interactivities, a virtual lab. I have a game. These are all sitting on the platform. Move through it again. I can see my quest kickoff. Should I choose to do that with my students? The focus on mastery. Again, here's my quest path and my anchoring phenomena. And I will also have some scaffolding available to me. Here's some guiding inquiry. So I get some directions for my students if I choose to do a lab. Some of the labs you will be able to do even if you're working in a virtual environment, because some of the labs, as we'll point out with the JCPS frameworks that we're aligning with SAVIS, just require some things that the kids might have at home and be able to do, right? So this is available to you as well as the student books. We also have in Elevate Science, there are some really nice connections with math and with ELA. All right, so this is back to our browse tab. And again, you can see all of the science courses. Now, if you want, you can click on this toggle for show distance learning. And what that's going to do is that's going to really limit the activities that are most conducive to distance learning. So you can see that many of the activities were taken off, and we see that we have a video here, a You Engineer It interactivity, things that are obviously easier to do in a distance learning environment. And it's my challenge to you to maybe take a look at one video, one connect, and then maybe find an interactivity and try it out. See what you think for the next time that we get together. Let's go on to the classes tab. When you see your classes, a few things you can assign. You can see a calendar view. One of the things that I really like for distance learning is the discussion. You can create a prompt and send it out to your kids. So if I want to create a prompt, I can give my prompt a title. Okay, there's tadpoles. I can pick a color. I can ask my kids, write down all you know about tadpoles and be ready to discuss when we meet on, let's say they're going to meet on Wednesday. I'm going to save my prompt. All right, and then I can assign this. So if I want to assign it now, anytime I create an assignment, whether it's a discussion prompt or any other assignment, I'm going to pick a start date. And let's say that we're going to meet next Wednesday. Okay, I can then pick a class that I want to assign it to. So maybe I'm going to pick my JCPS 4th grade class, and then I'm going to hit the assign button, and it's going to send it out there to that particular class. Back to classes. I can also group my students together. So if I have a particular class, I can show some student groups. If I named it group 1, I can manage this group of students. I can pick in group 1, I can maybe add just 3 kids to that group. And then I hit the save button. Right. So I have a way of doing that as well. In the data tab, I can view my class assignments, class results by assignments or by standards. So this becomes very important as well. And we're going to do more with just looking at the data tab in future digital learning classes as we move through January and February. Let's take a look now back at our home page. Again, I'd like you to take a look at this button right here, which is the program training. If you go out to the program training, you can get some technical support. You can contact a program specialist. If you'd like to have a live chat with someone, they will contact you. You can chat with them, and then you will be given a transcript of the chat that you had. So that's really nice, because sometimes I know for myself, I think that I understand completely what someone's telling me when I'm meeting with them on the phone or chatting with them. And then the minute that we hang up, I'm like, now what was step 3? So you do get that transcript of the live chat. This program training right here is going to send you out to My Savvis training. And if you have not been to this site, I would encourage all of you to make an account for yourself, take a look at all of the workshops that we have. You can search your particular program, and this does save a transcript for all of the work that you do in My Savvis training. So like that feature that we offer. All right, let's go back into browse and take another look. I think we are almost out of time here.
Yep, you got about 5 minutes left, Kelly.
5 minutes. Thank you. Do we have any questions in the chat? Are we doing pretty well?
Let me look. I don't think I've seen any.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so some of these, like with the activities that we have at the lesson level, I like these teacher resources. When you click on the teacher resources, you can get some answer keys, you can get some enrichment, you get the teacher e-text that takes you directly to the e-text for that particular lesson, so that you don't have to go looking through the teacher e-text as a whole. And you have the ability to customize some things. When you go in again, you have the ability to add things to your playlist. Don't forget the teacher drop down here. And you can, when you click on the info, you can also see the standards. So I know that becomes very important in science. When you're trying to be teaching directly to a standard, you'll be able to look up the standard that particular activity is addressing. So that's a nice feature that we have here. The interactivities, if we look here at one interactivity, like to show you this, get this to load. Here we go. The interactivities, really a nice feature for distance learning in that if you assign this to the kids, they can do this on their own, and then you can have them write about it or be thinking about it and come back and have some discussions. So the interactivities, if you'll see down here in the corner, they have these arrows, and the kids are going to be asked to do specific things and then interact with what's happening here. All right, so they're seeing some things here, and it's talking about light, energy, and vision, right? And some of the interactivities will also have some worksheets that come along with them. And it just changes depending on what lesson we're dealing with. And the future, let's go back to our it's right here, view from this. Our next sessions, January 13th, we're going to be looking at digital learning with playlists. On January 20th, we're going to be looking at several different interactivities and how to plan effectively with those. And then on January 27th, we're going to be looking at the U Investigate labs. Several of the U Investigate labs now have videos that go along with them, and the kids actually watch a video of the lab being done so that they can collect data and do the lab, as well as virtual labs that we have online. So those are some exciting things that we have coming up to make science a curriculum that we can actually carry out in this virtual world. So again, I'm here, Science K through 12. Love it. Please feel free to contact me either by email or using the Cloud HQ. Science to me is just so much fun, and I'm anxious to meet people in the science world and get started with JCPS.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us. Super great information. And we look forward to having you on the channel the next couple weeks going into January. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, everybody. It is 10:29. Let's go through some housekeeping things before we move on. So coming up at this half hour, we have Chris Peterson back with us to talk about Realize Math 6 through 12. Then we're going to end our day at 11 o'clock to 11:30 with Donna talking about Realize ELA 6 through 12. Please make sure, if you're on Twitter, go ahead and give us a follow at JCPSDigIn. That stands for Digital Innovation. And go ahead and tweet when you can to the hashtag JCPSDigIn. And you can see we just tweeted out our schedule right here. If you tweet to that hashtag, we look at that every day. All of us on our team do. We'll give you a like, we'll give you a follow, we'll give you a retweet, and we'll continue to spread your brilliance and the brilliance of everybody else around the district so we can continue to learn together and get better for our students. So, if you're in the chat with us today, thank you for being here. We appreciate you tuning in. Please let us know where you're from, what you teach, if you have any questions, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Chris so he can take it away.
Matt, thank you very much. Good morning again, everyone. Hope everyone's having a terrific day. I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama, and I know it's cold here, so I know it's cold, especially up in Louisville. So you guys stay warm. Today, we're going to look at Math 6 to 12. I'm going to do a very generic session today, looking at some pieces for the 6 to 12 teachers, so they can watch this part on using the Realize platform, getting to your program, finding certain things inside of it, assigning work, going and knowing where to go and find that work after students complete it, and just a few teacher resources and everything like that. We're here at our Realize homepage, and you can see you have 3 tabs: the Browse tab,
Chris, do
the
you mind?
Classes tab.
Sorry to interrupt you, man.
and
Do
the
you mind to
Data.
hit that hide button for me really quickly?
There we
Perfect.
go,
Thank you.
have that.
That's great.
And also, I can turn the closed captioning on.
Closed
Let me turn
captions
that.
only works if we're in slides. It's fine.
Okay, I got you. Terrific. So anyway, let's go back to the Realize platform. The Browse, the Classes, and the Data. Those also correlate up here in the top. You have a couple of other buttons that we'll get to on down the road next week and the following weeks to talk about playlist and items like that are stored in my library. But today we're going to do a very basic look over. Let's go to Browse. Browse is where you're going to find your program. You'll find that I have access to many, many programs here. Okay. So once you go into that, okay, your programs are there. Going back, your classes will be where you find your classes that you are assigned to and hopefully linked properly through your EasyBridge platform. And then the last tab is the classes also, that's where you will look at their homework and items like that. And finally, the data tab, that's where you're going to go to look for test results and reports. And that's going to be a whole nother session that I can help you with to look at the data from assessments that report to mastery. So Browse, the programs, classes, where you would see their daily practice work, and data where you would find the results for their tests and items like that. Let's go into a program. Today, since I'm doing 6 through 12 math, let's use something right in the middle. I'm going to use the 8th grade math program, the Common Core Math. Here we will see what we call the program or the table of contents level. That's where it all starts. Okay? We have a section dedicated to teachers who are doing that virtual learning right now. You can thumb through that. You'll find your teacher's edition. You can find it digitally on here. It's always there. And just different pieces before you get to the topics. Okay? Then we'll get into the topic level in just a moment. But before we do that, let me go over here and talk about teacher resources for a moment. Clicking the drop-down arrow, there are many, many teacher resources that are found over here to the right. Your assessment source book, if you ever wanted to look at it to see what the assessments would look like with you, with your students. The language support handbook would be very helpful. This is not only for your ELL students, but it's also to teach students how to use and properly announce that math handbook, that math vocabulary, because we know math is its own language, knowing quotients and percentages and what all of those words mean. So that's a very nice, helpful piece that we have for teachers. Your math practices and problem solving handbook, that's a nice little piece to get the student to know what the student's work is going to be like for that day. If they want to, have access to a printer at home and can print it off. But your teacher resources tab over here to the right is a very helpful section for you to find what's available to you and be ready to use it. There's other teacher resources that I'll show you when we get into the lesson level, but this is the first one I wanted to show you at our table of contents or our program level, as we call it. Now let's get into a topic. I would suggest since it's mid-year, you may be somewhere in 8th grade around topic 5. I'm just going to guess. And now we're at the topic level. You can see that it's identified by topic. Once again, over to the right, there are other teacher resources over here. There's a home connection school letter, okay, a homeschool connection letter available in English and Spanish. So that's there for you to download, to send out via email, okay. That's there for you. Also, before you get into the lessons, where the lessons start right here at 5.1, there's a lot of important information up here for you. There's your teacher's edition. Here's your professional development video, which is a video to help you understand what's going on in this area of math. What are your students going to be learning? What are you going to have to look for? Just items like that in that professional development video. Each topic always has a readiness assessment to determine where students may be lacking so that you can be ready for their help. This can be the nice thing about it, it counts toward mastery. So like I said, on that data tab, you'll always get a report for it. There are teacher resources. It's a printable. It's editable. Okay. And other than that, right here, you can customize it. Okay. It's always look for this more button. Okay. You would think that the customizing one would be here in the teacher resources, but it's actually not. It's over here in the more button, so you can always get to customize. Okay. To assign a piece of the program, we're going to use this assign button. Okay, and this is a digital assessment, so it's going to be automatically graded for you, which is nice. We're going to add our JCPS classroom that I've created, and I've just created a 1st and 7th grade to have. So there we go. You can assign it by class, or you can assign it individually by students. When it's going to auto-populate up here whenever you're going to assign it right there. So we're going to assign it, I don't know, let's assign it to 7th grade, and just we'll look at it a little bit later in the student view. It's going to start the 6th, and we're going to say we'd like for them to finish it tonight, complete, or homework, please. Okay? And we're going to assign it. Righty? So that's how you assign a piece of the program. Okay, using the assign button right here. A couple of pieces, the STEM project and the pick a project. Those are pieces that add to your, they're differentiation pieces, really. They allow students to show their learning in different ways and connect it to real world situations. I've got some ideas about how to create collaboration opportunities in this, but just don't have time to go through it today. So that's something I would love to be able to help you with, to show you my thoughts about how to get students to collaborate on these projects. Going into the lessons right here. All of our pieces, okay, are listed down throughout. The nice thing about the Envision program K through 12 is it's arranged very much the same way. Problem-based learning, some visual learning or examples when we get to the older kids for high school, and then a practice section. Wow. And then after that, we get into the assess and differentiate area. Then also always we have our Spanish resources. Now, going back up to the top, once again, let's look to the right, because over here is our teacher's resources button. Now, I know one of the favorite parts of your day is creating lesson plans to turn into your admins, right? So guess what's already done for you? Here's a nice detailed lesson plan. In the upper right-hand area, it's downloadable. Okay, so if you wanted to change it or do anything different that your administrator might require you to do, it's downloadable and it's editable within Microsoft Word. It's always there, downloadable. Okay. Alrighty. Super. Let me check my list where I've gone through that, and I've gone through assigning. Okay. Now, as I said back at the Realize homepage, let's say that our students have completed work. We're going to use the Classes tab to check their homework, daily practice that they've done digitally, and items like that. Let's go to our class and let's look at our JCPS 7th grade. Just to use for an example, I assigned this to myself last evening, just as practice, and it gives me the reports about student status, okay? There are 2 people that have started it in progress and 1 has not started it, and that 0 are completed, okay? And it tells it to me. Now, I cannot see their work until they submit it, okay? So it's not a live view situation where you can see it in progress, all right? There are some ways around that. There's a piece called Pear Deck, P-E-A-R Deck. I know that's available as a Google extension. And I know some teachers use Desmos and Nearpod. So that's a nice way to see the pieces there, all righty, in live view. So but on the Realize platform, it will not be, you can't see it until it's completed. Okay, we click on View Student Status, okay, all righty, and we can go in and review to see what's been done. Is it going to load? Yes, there it is. Okay, so you can see what the student has done, but it takes you going through those couple of clicks to get to it, and things like that. Now, the nice thing about this, it's a PDF file that the students get, okay? And this is what the student view would be like. Now, the nice thing about this is that students have all of these tools to interact. You have all of these tools to interact with your students also. So if you wanted to leave this student a text message, not on a phone, but using text, you would click on the text button, okay? And you would put the text in right here, and you would tell that student, nice, let me lowercase it, nice work on this question. Mr. P, okay? And there we go, all righty? So you can interact with the student and leave them messages and items like that, okay? If you wanted to, you can talk with them and items like that on their homework and collaborate with pieces like that, all righty? So that's the nice part about it here. That's the nice part about it here. Let me go back to my Savvis platform, my Realize platform, and we'll get back into it. They prayed. Okay, super. So that's how you would go through and check their daily work. Okay, that's there for you to use like that. The data feature is for mastery, like I showed you, and let me go in and show you in just a moment what that little symbol looks like for mastery. But our data is where we're going to be able to get reports. It's going to give you a very useful piece of 3 types of reports: scores, usage, and completion, to where you can get those reports and send them to parents and say, hey, Chris has not completed his work yet. Please have him work on this assignment as it's overdue, past due. So anyhow, but this is all from the mastery. Now, what symbol are we looking for mastery pieces, you ask? It's a symbol that's going to look like this line graph right here. So when you click on that line graph, it's going to tell you this item counts toward mastery. This item counts toward mastery. So it's going to give you those nice reports that I talked about. So that's always going to be there for you. That's always going to be there. As far as checking work, that's it under classes and the data. So we've gone through assigning work, okay? We've talked about how you would assign it. We've talked about how you would check their daily homework and their practice inside of the classes button. And we've talked about when you give a digital test and assessment that counts towards mastery, it automatically grades it for you, and it comes up with you in the data tab, okay? So it's there for you. All right, I'm marking that off my list as we've gone through that now. Very good and awesome. All right. Let's go back in. Let's go to a high school program now and look at it, okay? I tell you what, let me show you the middle school again, just to show you the layout of the lesson, okay? Oops. Here it is, okay? It's going down through the steps: the problem-based learning, the visual learning, the practice, and problem solving, okay? Now let's go to a high school and we'll look at the difference, just in case you're curious, okay? It's a little bit different layout, okay? A little bit different labeling, all righty? But it's still arranged by topic and then lessons, okay? It's still arranged by topic and lessons. The resources are the same. Over here to the side, you would still be able to find the resources, although they have different resources for the high school AGA program than they do for the middle school 2021 program. Okay? So let's go into a lesson here at the high school level. Once again, we have that problem-based learning. It's called an Explore. Then we get into the examples, the understand and apply. So it's aligned a little differently, and it's named and titled a little bit differently. Okay. But then we get into the practice and problem solving section, just like we had in the middle school program, and the assess and differentiate section that we have in the middle school program. Okay. And that's all there for you. That is all there for you. Same lineup as the middle school program. So that's very nice. That's very nice. Now let's look at resources. Okay, let's say that you're working and teaching, and you need something to find it, and you don't really know exactly where to go. That's where we're going to use your resources tab right here. All along, I've been working from the table of contents tab. But now let's go to resources. And I know that right now I'm working on quadratic formulas. Okay. So I'm going to type in quadratic. And guess what? It's telling me where it is. Okay. I can see that it's an algebra 2 program topic. So this is where I'm going to find it. It's covered in 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. It's covered in all of those areas. Okay, so it's going to take me to the lesson, but if you keep scrolling down, it may take you specifically to where you want to go. And you'll see there's a lot of results. Okay, so we don't want to have to thumb through all of those. So let's narrow down, just like you would in Google, okay, assessment. And let's see what it pulls up for us here. Here we go. Now you can see that we've got much fewer selections to find what we were looking for if it's available to you. So this resources tab is very nice to have if you're looking for something quickly. Okay, so we have the table of contents. That's where you're going to find your topics and go into the topics and find your lessons. Then we're going to go to the resources tab if you ever needed to find something quickly, as I just did that search for quadratic assessment. The next tab is your standards. Okay. And these green arrows over to the left always mean that you can break it down into more specific. Now, these are not based on the Kentucky standards or the standards that Jefferson County has written, but it's based on the Common Core standards. Okay. So we click the green arrow, and it's going to break it down and narrow it down even further. Okay. We see another green arrow. Yes, that means we can break it down even further and into more details. Yes, we can break it down even further. Now you see there's no green arrow. So this must be that specific standard that we're looking for in our lesson plans or wherever you're needing it. Okay. So that's where you're going to find your standards based on the lessons. Now, as I showed you in the lesson plans, it also covers the standards. Let me go over and find a lesson plan within one of the lessons, dividing polynomials. Okay, there's our lesson plan that is editable, and they also give you a PDF. Okay, but if you click on the lesson plan editable, once again, here's your download button in the upper right-hand corner where you can take it into a Microsoft Word document and then convert it to a Google Doc, and you can go about editing that way. Very good. Excellent. Let's see here. So we've gone through this toolbar at the top to browse the classes and the data. Then we've gone through these tabs, the table of contents, the resources where I showed you could do a search, the standards, the e-text, and the tools are the last piece, okay? Now, these are very nice because students and teachers in the 6 through 12 program, Desmos is automatically built into your program. It's always there for you. Okay? It's very nice. The lessons, when you get to them, are going to go right into the Desmos and have the Desmos link there for you so that you can get directly to them. So that's always very nice. But if students needed to find it, it's under tools. This top one, the math tools, is very beneficial. Okay, it's got different pieces that they can use also, and once they do that, they can take a picture of it and include it on their work if they needed some proof of their work that they know what they're talking about, and not just put down an answer they got from their friend. Okay, so these tools are available for them also. It did pop open. It does pop open in another window, as you can see. So always be aware of that, please. All righty, very good, awesome job. Going back, one last thing I wanted to show you. Back at our Realize homepage, if you ever needed, if you think something's wrong with your group or your settings or something, here's where you're going to go to look for that. You're going to go to your person icon. You're going to go to settings. You're going to have 3 tabs: your account, your programs, and about me. Okay. All righty. This is where it's got it all listed, that you can check everything that you have. Okay. If you ever forget your password, you can reset it and it will email you a password. Okay. Your programs will list the programs that you have access to. Okay. I have most of them that are offered by Savas, so you can see it all there. It's all here, and the ones that are shaded out are the ones that I have active. They have a check mark in them. So if you needed something else that's there and you needed another program, this is how you would get to it on your Realize platform. Finally, about me, if you ever wanted to change your profile picture or your homepage picture, what you want your students to see, all of that, that's in the 3rd tab where it says About Me. About Me. Very good. Okay, let's cover a couple of things outside of the Realize platform before my time is up, please. First of all, I wanted to share a Padlet with you. Okay, the team here that's from Savas that's working with JCPS, we have created a Padlet where you can find many resources. Okay, I created it for the group and I put it up here in the chat. I've created it, and hopefully I think Kelly or Linda are monitoring the chat, so maybe they can get it and copy it and put it in the chat window for you.
I just did it for you, Chris.
Thank you, Matt. I much appreciate it. Okay. There is a password. I've got it set as view only for you guys, for the teachers. And there is a password. The password is all lowercase with no spaces in it. And it is Teachers Rock. DEACHERSROCK. Teachers Rock. Okay. So this is all there for you. And a couple of pieces I'll share with you in my Math 612 section. The first one is my flyer. You can always get to my flyer to get to my email, which Linda and I think are going to put it in the chat also. Also, I have a Cloud HQ where you can book a meeting with me. Okay, they're scheduled for 30 minutes, but if you think we need longer than that, schedule, back to back or whatever, and I'll be happy to help you. That's set up from, I think, 8 o'clock Eastern until 5 in the afternoon. I'm on Central Time, but I get up early, so whatever time is good with me. So that's in there. Also, a couple of pieces I've created. I've taken the JCPS instructional framework and taken it from the Envision program 6 to 8, and I've put pieces in here that I think would help you reach those areas in the JCPS framework. Okay, so you're welcome to look through these. I've done one for the 6 through 8 program, and I've done one for the high school algebra, geometry, and algebra 2 section. It's in there. So this is always there for you in the Math 612 section. Yes, I'll be adding more pieces to this as I see things that are needed. If it's needed by one teacher, it's probably going to be needed by others also. Lastly, once again, let's look at the upcoming sessions that I have today. We covered the Find It Fast, just going through real quickly how to find things within the Realize platform. Next Wednesday, January 13th, I'm going to be looking at playlists, how that can help you plan out and assign work to your students. Then the next week, January 20th, I'm going to have two separate sessions. Wow, that's tongue twisting me today. I'm going to do a 6-8 session on differentiation. Then I'm going to do one for 9-12 because they're a little bit different. Okay, the differentiation in there is a little bit different. So I get two sessions that day. I asked, and everybody worked it out and gave me two sessions because it's a little bit different. Then finally, January 27th, we're going to look at assessment within Envision. Not only the summative assessment where you get a test, but we're going to look at formative and diagnostic and those kind of opportunities for assessment like that with your students in this virtual world. And I'm going to share some ideas with that using the Envision program. As always, chris.peterson@savas.com. You're welcome to email me. Also, my appointment booking through the Cloud HQ link is there. I'm happy to work with individuals or groups of teachers or however you see fit. Okay? I'm more than happy to work with you and help you guys during this virtual time. I think that's it, Matt.
Yep.
I much appreciate the time today, and thank you very much. I hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you being here with us this morning, and we're all looking forward to the rest of your sessions throughout the month of January. So thanks for putting in the time to be here and support our teachers and the work that they're doing with their students in our digital environment.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right, everybody, it is 10:58. Let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule and everything before we move into our last session of the day, as we do not have an afternoon session today. So we've gone through all of this different Savas stuff this morning, and we are about to end right now with Realize ELA 6-12 with Donna coming back for us for our last session of the day. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at JCPSDigIn. That stands for Digital Innovation. And when you tweet, use the hashtag JCPSDigIn. We can see that, we can retweet it, we can like it, and we can continue to spread our brilliance around the district with each other to become better at what we are doing virtually. Don't forget also, if you are on, let's go to jcpsdigitallearning.com. And that's where you'd be viewing this now. But remember that all of our videos will be able to be found here. After our recording, after our sessions today, I will break those up and put them in different sessions, and they will all be found under playlists in, if I can find it, our Savas support playlist. You can see we have 17 videos in there. After that, we will add another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos to it. So we will have those ready to go for you. Hopefully by later today, I'll have those uploaded and taken care of. But it's 10:59, so let's go ahead and pass it over to Donna as she closes out our morning with Savas Realize for ELA 6-12. Donna, how are you? Oh, you're muted.
Slow. All right, how
there you
about
go.
now?
Yep, that's great.
All right, the one thing I said I wasn't going to do today. Okay, well, good morning.
Morning.
It's been a long day for you already.
Oh, yeah.
I got to match your energy. All right, so here we go. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm Donna Koss. If you didn't catch our earlier little introduction, I am here to support the 6-12, my perspectives. I will turn on my little closed caption chat. How about that? So you can see here just my contact information. You can get me anytime for any question at all at donna.koss@savas.com. I also, like many of the people on the Savas One team, have a Cloud HQ link so that you can schedule a longer 30-minute session for yourself, or if you have a small group, same prep, before school, after school, whatever you want to do, feel free to use that link. And then I do also on this slide have the link for the Padlet that Chris Peterson put together for all of us. You'll see my flyer there, and this same contact information is on my flyer. I just wanted to show you a little bit of what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to go over the things that I feel are most important for you out there in the world dealing with this distance learning. How can you find resources quickly? So number one, I'm going to show you some of the things you can get to from the home page. And then I want to show you your table of contents and the most important tools for this distance learning from there. And I'll be saving a little time at the end in case any questions come up in the chat. So let's get right to it. When you get to your home page, you have several things that you can do from here that I think are going to be very beneficial for you. There are actually probably 4 different ways that I can think of right now to search for resources. My favorite one, I'm just going to show it to you right off the bat. And I'm going to kind of challenge you for the day to of all the things I'm going to show you, I hope that you can find at least 3 things that you will start using right away to help hopefully end some of your frustration when it comes to using my perspectives and finding resources. So this first one, I had a teacher a long time ago tell me that this was the big Q. But this is our search tool, a nice little magnifying glass that when you click on this, you're going to be able to search for content. I'll explain why this is my favorite one. And I'll show you that if you're on a different page besides the home page, it's going to look a little different. But let's search for something rather general that all grade levels would need, and that would be poetry. I think teachers are always looking for extra poetry. I know when I did my units, I always needed extra stuff than what was in my basal. So when you click on anything in the search, the first thing you're going to see are all of the things related to poetry that are in our Savvis product. Now you'll see here that there are 474 results. That's a lot to go through. Over here on the left, these are some ways to filter all of that information down so that you can get to what you need more precisely. Of course, if you like, you can go page by page and look at every single item that comes up. But if you're in 8th grade and you only want to see things that relate to 8th grade, you can click on the My Perspectives and you'll see now that dropped down to 4 pages of material. And now I only have 35 results. So number one, that's a great way to start searching. Why I like using this search tool from the home page is because this is where you're going to see results from Mosaic by ACT. When you click on that black bar, you are now going to be able to search through this digital learning library powered by Mosaic. These are going to be teacher vetted resources. Some things are teacher created. Some things you're going to see as I scroll through the nature of writing. Mr. Buff has quite a few things here for poetry. But again, I've got 11 pages of items related to poetry of 1,000 results. That is also a lot to go through. If you are looking for something in particular, you can filter down along the side. I'm going to go back. How do I get back? Okay, easy, easy, easy. Anytime you want to get back to your home screen, you simply click on the Savvis Realized icon in the upper left corner. And now I'm back to my home page. The second way that I think is an easy search tool for you is just by clicking on Browse. And then I like all the way here, you're going to see all of your books on this browse. You normally pick your grade level, but I want you to click on Browse All Content. And why I like this way to search for information is because this gives you the opportunity to help you differentiate for your students. by selecting the different toggles. If I'm in 8th grade and I know I have some students who are working a little below level or a little above level, I can simply click the toggles for the other programs, and then I can enter my keyword. Oops. And when I hit search, now I'm only going to see things for those grade levels. So you'll notice some of these same things came up when I searched the other way. This is just a second way to search. I want to get back to my home screen. And the next thing I wanted to talk about, if you didn't notice, you've got these words up at the top. They match the same colors as the circles and the rectangles. You can click on any of those to get where you want to go. I wanted to talk about, classes and data are your next two tabs. Data really isn't much to show you until you start assigning, but I really do want to show you something useful in the classes. And that is this discussion board. Another really easy thing that you could start doing with your students tomorrow. You simply go, after you click classes, you see that discuss, you click on it, and you're brought to this page. It doesn't look like you have anything. You can create a prompt, or if you have already made one, you would click on My Prompts. But what happens when you hit Create a Prompt? This window comes up, and you have some things to do here. Number one, you want to put in your title, whatever that may be, the title of your prompt. Oh, I can't spell today. And then you have the prompt text box. And this is where you put the body of your text. This is where you can put additional directions. This is where you may want to tell your students that they have to respond to at least 2 other students, that you want them to use academic vocabulary and proper grammar in their answers to try to get them out of that texting habit. And then you have these colors. So you could have up to 5 discussions going at once, and it would be easy to just pick a different color, and that would be an easier way for the students to figure out which discussion they want to participate in if you have more than one going at a time. When you're done, you just click Save Prompt. And now you'll see that I did have another prompt, and you can see that I now have 2. So when you have another prompt, let me go back here. When you come to this screen, normally after you click Discuss and you just go to My Prompts, they're always going to be right here. You can always go back and edit your prompt, and this is where you would assign it. You decide it's not a prompt that you want to use again, you could remove it. But anything that you create is going to stick for as many years as you have this product. So one last thing to show you from the home page is this question mark. I can't go over everything. Of course, I want to answer whatever questions you have, but there is a way for you to get a little training on your own, and that is by clicking right here on Program Training. I have it open already, so in case I got that slow delay, this is my SAVIS training. There are some excellent tutorials on this site. If you're looking specifically for my perspectives, note that there is no space when you want to find my perspectives. Just type it in the box and then choose my perspectives. And what you'll get here are all of the tutorials that go along with the program to help you out. I recommend scrolling to the bottom and click on View All Training. And you now have access to so many things to help you out if you're looking to dive in a little more and you can't wait until the next session. All right, I'm going to go back. And now I'm going to pick a program. And I want to talk to you about what you have on your table of contents and show you some of the things that I think you're going to need right away to start using with your students. Number 1, I don't like this. My brain does not operate this way. I don't like to have to go across and down. I like to just have a list. So right here, you can change the look and feel of your table of contents. I can go from thumbnail view, which is how it always starts, and change it to list view. And my brain likes this much better. The next way that you can kind of make this table of contents suit your needs is by clicking on this Rearrange tab on the right. Notice my cursor changed to that multi-directional arrow, and now it's a simple click and drag. Once you have mastered what the Google integration looks like, you could move this to the bottom so that you don't have to look at it anymore. I know I would want my student and my teacher edition to be closer to the top. So you simply click and drag, place things where you want, and when you're done, you would click Save. The other thing to mention here, you'll notice that it says hide on a lot of these. What you do to your table of contents will also happen to the student's table of contents. So if there's ever something that you don't want them to see, all you would have to do is click hide, and that will no longer show up on theirs. I'm not going to mess with my table of contents right now, but you would just click Save. And you can always go back to the original by clicking right here where it says View Original. So where do you need to spend most of your time? Right here with your teacher's edition, your student edition, and your unit resources. This is where you get to your e-text. Now I know it says e-text here above the black line, but this is not where you want to go for my perspectives. You want to click here. Today, I want to show you the student edition, which is very similar to the teacher edition. It's going to prompt you to open it in a new window. And I opened mine earlier so that, again, if there were internet problems, it wouldn't slow us down. It's always going to land on the first page of the first unit. So how do you navigate from here? In the upper right corner, you see this menu button. By clicking on menu, you open up these areas where you can quickly go. So table of contents, that's where we're going to look. But you can also bookmark your pages. You'll notice this little flag here with the plus sign. By clicking on that, you and the students can bookmark a page. Once you start using annotations and highlights, you can look at them here all in one place. Once you start typing into your notebook, again, you could just go straight to your notebook to see what you need. And then, of course, we have a glossary. Let's take a look at this table of contents, though. Notice that Unit 1, Rites of Passage, is highlighted. That's because this is the page that we're on. So if I want to go to Unit 2, I can just close that to get it out of the way. Click on Unit 2, and it's going to send me directly there. Much easier than attempting to use these back and next buttons, or if you know exactly the page that you want. I just have always found using this kind of hot linked menu is the easiest way to get around. So I wanted to show you a text selection from small group learning. Again, I can just click on that, and all now the text selections that are here are named. And I want to go to this acceptance speech for the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, if you're using this on your own, this may not be distracting, but someday we're going to get back in the classroom. And if you wanted to display this, you probably want the screen to be as much of the text as possible. So there's a couple things you would need to do. Number one, you would click on the close button here, not once, but twice. And you'll see now it filled my screen. And then I have this picture here, which of course you want to introduce this to the students. You can click here to get background on the author and background on the selection. And if you need to look at your standards and how this is related, you can just simply click on any of these. But once you do that, you want it out of the way. You'll notice here it says hide. Once you click on hide, that picture goes away. If I ever want it back, it has changed to show. But now my text fills the screen much better. As you're reading, you'll notice that there are bolded words that are blue and underlined. These are our vocabulary words. When you click on them, you automatically see the definition, and I can actually change that to all of these different languages. So if I have a student who needs it in Russian, or if you assign this to students and they need it themselves, they can easily read the definitions in their own language. in English. Oh, let me go back. You can actually have it read. Another play button you may have noticed right here at the top. This is the audio for this text. I don't want to play too much in case the sound isn't working for you very well. But this is great for either synchronous or asynchronous learning. If you want the students to have the ability to have it read, especially some of your struggling readers, they've got that audio support built right in, and they can use this toggle to adjust the speed. Other things they can do with their e-text, and keep in mind, I'm on as a teacher right now. This is your copy of the student edition. So if you're going to use this as a teaching tool, you can mark the text just like the students can. It's very easy with a click and a drag. When you let go, you have the opportunity to use 4 different highlight colors and these 3 different shapes. So if you come up with a system of using for guided reading or close reading, all vocabulary is green underlined. It's very easy to set that up with your students, and they should use that repeatedly throughout their e-text. They also have a chance to type an annotation here. Maybe you're using this for collecting evidence. I can just say this is the answer to whatever question. It is going to automatically save. They can click save just to be sure. And then when they click off it, this is going to stay here. If they ever want to edit, they click on that little post-it note that comes up, and they can always change what they wrote in their annotation. So again, you as the teacher have the ability to mark up your text as well. And when we get back into the classroom, if you want to use this with your distance learning, you can show them where maybe they should have highlighted or they should have found their evidence. The other thing to quickly show you here, if you do decide to assign e-text, the students may be confused as to, well, where am I supposed to be typing? All of their work is here on the right under making meaning, language development, and effective expression. Now, almost every text is going to have all 3 areas, but depending on what you're looking at, you may not have all 3, especially if you assign an image gallery or something like that. But all they have to do is open these areas up, and they can, if you assign the conventions activity, they click on it, they can open this activity up, they can type right in it. Everything they do is going to stay. Here's an example of what their notebook looks like. They would type right into this notebook text box, and that is going to stay. If you assign this, you will be able to see what they do to their e-text. And I'll save that for another upcoming session. I kind of want some feedback from you to see what you are most interested in using. But those are kind of the highlights of the e-text. So let's move back over to the next thing I want to show you, your unit resources. Now notice, that again, that e-text opened in a separate tab. So I can always just go back and forth. But when I go back to my Savvis account, you know, I'm left on this page where I had to open the new window. When you're navigating through Savvis Realize, you always want to use these back buttons that are within the program. So I want to click on this exit button, not my browser's back button. Sometimes when you click on the browser back button, it may kick you out of the program completely and you have to log back in. So scrolling down, unit resources, keep talking about assigning. This is where you do your assigning. So again, I'm in the grade 8 program. I can see here, these are the different units in grade 8. A very useful tile is this program level resources. This is filled with downloadable documents that are generic. So you can use them with anything. So if you're looking for a first review, a close review guide, and a first read guide, but you're reading something different, something outside of Savvis, that's fine. you have all of these generic tools right here in your program level resources. But what does it look like in a unit? So I'm going to go to the Holocaust because that's where I went in the e-text. And here's what things look like in my unit. It goes through the same things you saw when I went on that menu, and I had my whole group, I had my small group, and I had my independent learning. And by clicking on all of those, I opened up the different texts. Here, they're just all in a list. So I had gone to that acceptance speech for the Nobel Peace Prize. Anytime you see this arrow, it means there's more to open. So when you click on that tile, now I get into things that are directly related to this particular piece of text. If I were to assign the e-text, I want this top one. And one of the ways you know it's e-text is you see this icon of this little book here. If I were to click on this right now, it's going to send me to just this text. It's going to look like I'm in the e-text, but I'm not. So one way you know that is when you open the menu. Notice how this is very different than the menu I looked at before. This is going to keep the students only on this text. They can't go too far. They can't go to the other places in the text. It keeps them focused on the assignment that you want them in. Again, I click the exit button back. If you didn't know that we had this, almost every single text has accessible leveled text for all of our fiction and nonfiction informational text. So in a fiction text, it's going to have chunks of authentic text, author written text, and it's going to have bits of summarized text. And you're going to be able to use this accessible leveled text and still have the students answer the same questions that would be if they had read the entire text. When it comes to informational text, some of the paragraphs are summarized. The Lexile level has been lowered a bit. Some of the vocabulary has been changed, but they will still get the same information from the acceptable leveled text. So for those students who struggle a little bit and you're worried about them having to do all this work on their own at home, you may want to, instead of assigning the e-text, you may want to assign them the accessible level text. The other thing that we have, which is awesome for distance learning, is we have audio summaries. These audio summaries, maybe you did it with them, but you want to ensure that they got the gist of it. Maybe you noticed they weren't participating well on the call that you had with them. This is going to give them that audio summary, and it is a click away to get it in Spanish. So it's a really nice tool for remote learning. Now you may have noticed that there is this other little symbol of a book in a house. That is the symbol for remote learning. All of these other things go with this text, but not as easy to do. It doesn't mean you can't, but not as easy to do with remote learning. One way that you can kind of minimize what are the best things to use is to click on this toggle that says Show Distance Learning Resources. And you'll notice now I only have those 3 items. If I go back to my table of contents, even my table of contents has been reduced. So that is also going to make your life easier. But let's take a look at I apologize, I clicked the wrong place. Let's take a look at what does assigning really look like. So if I go to that acceptance speech and I do want to assign, you've got a couple of things. I can assign this one item. I can click on these boxes and I can give them the full text and the audio. I can click over here. If I deselect them, I can just easily assign all. It's totally up to you. And no matter what you do, this same box is going to come up. You would pick your start date. I know you guys give them a full week, Monday to Monday, to get their work done. You could set start and end times, and this is going to help you as a teacher know if they turn something in late, if it's past, a minute past the time that you set here, It's going to come in with a red exclamation point saying that it was past due. You can type your instructions, and then you simply start typing the name of your class. Now you notice when I did that, I see student names. You could also assign it to individual students by just clicking on their name. If you make a mistake, just click off of it. Very easy to assign. Now, the other thing to highlight here, this is my promo for next week, add to playlist. You can pick out all of the things that you want and make your own playlist, just like you can do with Spotify. And we're going to spend the next half an hour doing just that, showing you how to create and add things to your playlists. So I hope you'll join me next week. Let's see what else I have. I can quickly go. So these are the next sessions that are coming up. January 13th, the digital learning with playlists. And then January 27th, I am skipping a week in between to let some of our other presenters be able to split by grade bands like I'm going to be doing. That's going to be Make It Your Own Way. And that's where I'm going to show you how to customize assessments and those PDFs. And I'm going to break things into grade bands of 6 to 8 and 9 to 12 on both of these upcoming sessions. 6 to 8 if you'll join me from 10:30 to 11, and then 9 to 12 from 11 to 11:30. So again, this is my contact information. If you have any questions between now and then, you have any suggestions or something you need help with that I could make, I haven't gone into February with my sessions. I'm willing to get feedback from you and let that drive what I decide to do.
Well, Donna, thank you so much for being here with us today, and to the rest of your team at Savvis as well. We really appreciate all the support that you've continued to give our teachers and our staff throughout our virtual learning. So thank you so much for being here and for continuing to be here throughout the month of January.
You are very welcome. Excited to be a part of the team.
Thanks. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great Wednesday, and we will see you next week.
All right. Thanks for being such a great host.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody, it is 11:28. That is it for us this morning. You can see we went through all of these Savvis sessions today. I will be working this afternoon to get those split up and put on the digital learning channel for you under our Savvis support playlist. Next week, we will be back in the morning at 8:30 with Linda again, with our K-5 Putting Envision Magic to Work. And then we will be doing Savvis sessions every Wednesday morning throughout the month of January. So the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th from 8:30 to 11:30. We will be talking about Savvis and how best you can use it with your students. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at JCPSDigIn and tweet to the hashtag JCPSDigIn so we can follow you and continue to spread that brilliance around the district. To our Savvis team, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your wonderful information. To everyone who joined us in the chat today and was watching, even if you weren't in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing up this morning. I hope you have a great rest of your first week back. I hope you have a great Wednesday, and we will see you all next week at 8:30 in the morning, ready to talk about some more Savvis excellence. So have a great day.